Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Civ 4 Earth 1000 AD scenario. We'll have to wait to airlift more units over to the mainland. So we continue working on a cultural victory. I think not. Oh, that's right, we weren't. I was thinking I was already getting incense from you, but no. Are you out of your mind? Not giving you uranium. You're the only one who can attack us. Polynesian. Should we take it? We don't really need it, and city maintenance is killing us, so no, we don't really need it. We'll just disband the city, and we get a couple of free infantry out of it, so that's cool. Let's see, why don't we send you over here, both of you over here to Chichen Itza. So that was a city that Peter had captured from the barbarians. Okay, all these units can just stand by here in the Mediterranean, ready for action. Azatlan, airlift you to Bristol, airlift this tank to York. Saladin adopts state property, which we should do. And maybe we will. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so if you recall, the plan was to build health in a bunch of cities. I mean wealth. We need a stock exchange here. Okay, so Berlin got hit by a spy. Let's do an observatory in James Bay. So over here in Berlin, let's, when you finish the stock exchange, let's do a security bureau. Okay, we can do the Red Cross. And if we produce units, whatever city has it, the units produced there get a free medic promotion. At this rate, it actually doesn't matter that much, because we don't plan to build a bunch more units. We're just going to kind of just make sure we have plenty in our 3 cultural centers over here. And if Saladin decides to attack us, would he come over to would he come over to London, York, and Bristol to attack first? I don't think so. Let's let's just train a spy and just keep him over here to watch for rival spies coming around. Coal plant and upper sand. Let's get some health buildings going here. Start with supermarket and see what we got. They want a library, sure. Chichen Itza has been free to do whatever it wants for a long time. Let's get a couple of tanks built here in Casablanca, because that seems like a target that Saladin would certainly go after if he declares on us. And the only reason he wouldn't is that we win the game first by culture, seems to me. And or to try to stop us from getting a cultural victory. Okay, coal plant in Dublin. Okay, spy there. Aztec City, let's just build wealth. James Bay, let's build a laboratory. And a library, and then I guess we'll build a university there too. Can we turn our culture up to 30%? Yes, we can. Alright, you just stay right there. And we'll keep bumping up our culture rate as we're able. Cancel your deals with Arabia. Perhaps you're not aware, Chinchi, that we are sort of sucking up to Arabia. So we're certainly not going to do that. Laboratory and lower scanned. Now let's build wealth here. You go to work.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Okay, just build wealth here. Certainly not. -1 hammer in the oil plot there. Well, what are you gonna do? Spy stumbled upon in Chichen Itza. So, would that be an Incan spy? Public transportation here, and now wealth. Keep building wealth in a bunch of our cities. So Bristol's up to 40,000 now. 3 cities with 50,000 culture is what you need in this scenario on this map. Okie doke. Supermarket here. Let's go ahead and build a university. And after that, just build wealth. They want a hospital. Okay, go ahead. Worker has come over here to Dublin. When the workers airlift themselves like that, since they're automated anyway, I wish they would just go wherever it is they want to go and then work there. Hollywood. Yes. Hollywood is done. Okay. So we can get back to building culture here, right? Alright, and let's look. So it's saying 40 turns to legendary for Bristol. And then York, 36 turns. London, 15. So we're looking good. Okay, university here, followed by a supermarket. And after that, just build wealth. Now, in Azatlan here, let me see. Okay, we can't build the Red Cross there, which is unfortunate. Maybe we should build a few more tanks, though. And maybe even some jet fighters to move over to our cultural center. So, cultural centers. So, jet fighters, tanks. And by the way, over here in our cultural centers, well, we don't have to do it yet, but we've got some really old units there, like a longbowman in London who has probably been there the entire game. That longbowman has lived for over 1,000 years. Nope. So, we could upgrade those units. Move you to London. Do what you gotta do, workers. And thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. the players who automate their workers, I mean who do not ever automate their workers for the entire game, they amaze me. I mean, having to manage what your workers are doing, like at this stage in the game, I can't imagine. But that's, a great thing about this game is everybody's different, and there's lots of room for your personal style. Okay, so this guy, go ahead and bomb in Bristol. So that'll be another 4,000 culture there. So Bristol should leapfrog to the #1 cultural city now. Did it? I'll move to #2. Okay. You hook up the oil. Jet fighter over here to Bristol. So now York is the #3 city, and it will become legendary in 34 turns, and the other 2 before that. So, my Civ fanatic friends, we have at most 34 turns to go. Move you over to York. If you've stayed with us during this whole game, well, I could say I appreciate it, and I do, but also, I mean, I'm glad for your sake, because that would mean you've enjoyed it. Okay, so just build wealth here. We could build the Red Cross there. You know what? Here, a tank here first, just for a little additional defense. Might not be a bad idea to build a few destroyers too, to keep at home. So the only ones we have right now are with those stacks. So it would make some sense to build a few and station those in our cultural centers. So let's do that. Let's make sure we have some destroyers over there. And they can be constructed in Marseille. Oh, we can do battleships now too, even better. Alright, so do 3 battleships there. And then Portugal, do 3 battleships. And in James Bay, go ahead, 3 battleships. You, we will airlift you to London. Let's see, I think I have these, yeah, I built these over here just for defense in Casablanca. And now we can do stealth bombers.
Behind a veil, unseen yet present, I was the forceful soul that moved this mighty body.
Let's do fascism next. And, let's see. Supermarket here, and then a coal plant. Then we can build Mount Rushmore. That won't hurt us. We may be able to build Mount Rushmore in one of our 3 cultural cities here, but we may have built all of the national wonders that we can in those cities. I don't know. Alright, we're doing minus 145 gold per turn. So we're losing gold per turn, but we have almost 7,000, so it's not serious right now. Maybe a customs house here will help the situation a little. Oh, looky here. The mass transit system in Kolomoki. And we get at least 343 gold. You know what that does? That buys us almost 3 turns of having our culture slider turned up like it is. Okay, when all 3 of those battleships are done, I'll move them over. Tank here, okay. Public transportation and aqueduct. After that, 1 more tank to keep here in Azatlan, and then just build wealth. This guy is getting airlifted to York. Now with fascism, we can immediately switch to police state if Saladin declares on us.
The great masses of the people will more easily fall victim to a big lie than to a small
So,
one.
not now. Okie doke, what next? Let's do computers so that we can do modern armor. By the way, you notice there that we don't even have liberalism, and so you may wonder, how are we running free religion? That would have to be because we captured the Shwedagon Paya in one of those Chinese cities. So I don't know which one, I wasn't paying attention, but that must be what it is. Great merchant. Can discover divine right, huh? Or we can settle you. Okay, so settling the great merchant does give us +2 culture per turn in the city, which is, you know, fairly measly, but we'll settle you in York, and yeah, we'll take what we can get culture-wise, so. Okay. By the way, when tech trading is turned off, as it is in this custom game, computers are good if you can be the first to build the internet, because that way, if there are at least 2 other civs out there who have some technology that you do not, then you will get it from the internet. So that can be useful. And as I mentioned before, I don't always play with tech trading turned off. I do various combinations of things in custom games, just, you know, to mix it up. And that's one of the things I love about Civ 4 is all the options and all the different ways that you can play, all the scenarios. Rise and fall of civilizations is very impressive. I mean, it's just astounding the research that went into that. So that's why I still play a lot of Civ 4, even though, you know, Civ 6 is out at this point, and I do get the impression that there are still a lot of Civ 4 fanatics, though. This game is like, it's a classic. Okay, build. We need to build Mount Rushmore somewhere. Let's see if we can build it in one of our cultural centers, because it does give +4 culture per turn. We may not be able to, though, because we may have built all the national wonders that we can in those cities. So, let's see. York, Bristol, London. York. Can you build it? Yes. Alright. So build Mount Rushmore, and then get back to pure culture. These 3 boats can go into there. Workers, do what you do. This tank is fine right here. These boats are going to go into York. And just sit tight. Another Arabian revolt in Syracuse. I'm surprised it hasn't flipped a long time ago. London is now legendary, folks. Cool. We can build an airport there. And then we can start building a bunch of modern armor. One down, two to go. Every time I press the enter button, I'm waiting for that war declaration noise, you know? Okay, what next? What next? Let's just go ahead and grab liberalism here. And let's see. Okay, so we see, let's see, York is number 3, and it'll take at most 22 turns. So we have at most 22 turns to go. And we can probably play all of those in the next segment, which would probably be the last. Unless Saladin declares war on us, thereby sort of delaying things. So I think we'll stop the video here and come back and enjoy our cultural victory. And so, 3XL Dave signing off. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.